Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're going to be talking about Loki, Episode 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent, and today we're going to talk about the first episode of Loki in his new series on Disney+. But before we do that, please let me ask you to do one thing. Please subscribe. Helps me out, helps the channel grow, lets you know when I drop new videos. Hit that bell if you're really crazy. Now, Loki. If you haven't watched the episode, I think it goes without saying, don't watch this because we're going to talk all about it. What was good, what was bad, what was enjoyable, what was not. So go watch the episode, then come back to the review. Now, let's talk about this show. First things first, the Time Variance Authority. For all the commenters who were in my MODOK video saying I didn't know what the bar with no name was or AIM and all this other nonsense, I know what those are. Anybody who's been reading Marvel Comics the last 25 years knows what those are. Alright? I've been doing that. I know that. I will argue that anybody who's been reading the comics in the last same period, 25 years, which is a long time, you're talking about 1995 to now, right? Doesn't know the Time Variance Authority. And if you can prove me wrong, show me a significant comic book story, a significant comic book event that highlighted the Time Variance Authority. I challenge you, it does not exist in the last 25 years. So, that being said, this Time Variance Authority we're exploring here in the Loki show, I think they're pulling from something that's really old, really obscure, and possibly throwing in a whole lot of new ideas because, unlike S.H.I.E.L.D., that organization that's been around for the entire Marvel Universe and been explored across multiple books, I will argue, to my knowledge, the Time Variance Authority is not on that level. So, if you're picking apart something or I don't like something and you're a Time Variance Authority expert, you might be one of 5 people, maybe 10, in the entire thing that's read every Marvel comic on Marvel Unlimited throughout the last 65 years of story, and you're the only one who cares that much. So, let me just say that. I think this show has a lot of potential, but like WandaVision, it's not really telling us where it's going in the first episode here that we get. It does tell us a little bit. It tells us we're hunting another Loki, who's the biggest time variant threat that they have. So I guess that's kind of what the thrust is. But unlike Falcon and Winter Soldier, which we kind of knew, like, what else could it be? It's about who's going to be Captain America and what Falcon's going to do with that shield after we saw him get it at Endgame. This has a lot more questions, and I feel like it's going to be, and we'll see, this might play out the same way as WandaVision, where we don't really find out what's happening until like episode 4 or 5, or I'm not sure how many episodes there are, 5 or 6 maybe with this one. I don't think it's that long. WandaVision had 8, but it was a 30-minute show. This is like 40, so I think we might be getting six episodes here. That would be my guess. But we might not find out what's going on until a later episode, like what really this whole thing's about. But for now, we know that the Time Variance Authority, at least our guy Mobius, played by Owen Wilson, wants to get this Loki to help him hunt this other Loki who we kind of met at the end of the episode. It was unclear, still a little shadowy. So we will see what happens. I'm not going to speculate because I don't really know if there's I didn't read the Loki series by Kieran Gillen. The young Loki thing wasn't really my jam. So I don't know if it's based on that or pulling from that at all. So I don't know. But it will be interesting to see Loki face off with himself, and I think that's why the whole conversation with Owen Wilson and with Mobius at the beginning, saying like, what are you really about? What is your really goal? Do you enjoy killing people? Do you enjoy causing trouble? That whole thing was really about helping this Loki, the one that we're following, realize that he doesn't enjoy killing people, and that's why he showed him his timeline. Now, it'll be interesting to see how this variant Loki, this villainous one that we're going to, I guess, encounter more in the next episode, does enjoy this stuff. Or, so I think it's to set up this counterbalance. Our Loki doesn't enjoy this Loki does, and that's why he's so dangerous. So, I think that would be interesting. Did this episode do a whole lot for me? I mean, I thought it was enjoyable, certainly, but I wasn't like, ooh, I can't wait for the next episode. it's definitely like a starter episode, not really giving you a whole lot to go off of in terms of predicting how the series will be. Now, there's a bunch of reviews online, and those reviewers got 2 episodes, the first 2 episodes to watch. Me, I'm just a lowly person like you, watching it on Disney Plus the day of release. So, there you go. Speaking of days of releases, we're going to do these episodes on Wednesdays. So far as the summer's going, I'm still working at home. Because Disney's moving their, at least the Marvel stuff is moving to release on Wednesdays, because they'd rather you go and watch Black Widow on the Friday it comes out, or the Saturday, instead of staying home and watching the new episode of whatever Marvel show's there. So shift your schedule to Wednesday, unless you really don't care about spoilers or watch it whenever, that's fine. But we are going to be doing reviews and videos on Wednesdays talking all about it. So come back here every Wednesday midday to check out the review after you've watched the episode. So Tom Hiddleston's here. I think he's doing a great job. He's doing Loki. I mean, as an actor, I think he's had a little bit of trouble finding other work. I personally enjoyed him a whole lot in Kong Skull Island. I think that's one of the stronger monster movies that's come out in recent years. I really enjoyed him there. But I haven't really seen him do other things. Like, it's been Marvel. I think he was in like The Prisoner or The Night Manager, a couple of things. They didn't really pop. They didn't really hit. I think Kong Skull Island was the one that really got most people's attention. It was like, oh, you can do things outside of Loki. But I don't know why he's not getting other projects. It seemed like he was done with Loki after Endgame. And then I guess they approached him with this idea or whatever. So, because I kind of felt, I don't know, years ago, when he was talking about Loki, he was like, yeah, I'm done. I want to do other things. And I don't know if that's true anymore. It's kind of weird. So we'll see how far this story goes, if it gets season 2. I mean, it's hard with these Disney shows. I feel like they build them as one-offs, to move into the next thing. Almost like a mini-series, rather than a true television series that's going to get a series 2. Like, we haven't had a Falcon and Winter Soldier season 2 announced. It was a big hit. We did see that Captain America 4 is going to be built as a movie, probably, so probably not going to get another season of that. WandaVision, we're going into with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse, most likely, right? So who knows if that's going to get a season 2. I think Paul Bettany's contract, he said it was up. Like, that was it with WandaVision. So, time will tell. And when they have enough new series and enough new movies coming out with new characters, that I feel like they're definitely trying to build these as miniseries to give an end cap to these characters, unless they're going to do, maybe you'll see a season 2 with like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, these new characters that are getting introduced that way, Miss Marvel. But even then, Miss Marvel's hard to say, because Captain Marvel 2 changed its title to, I think it's called The Marvels now. So it's kind of strange to guess how long these TV series are going to be going. And therefore, I guess that's helpful because it raises the stakes a little bit. You don't know if there's going to be a season 2, and therefore you wonder if Loki's going to survive, right? Or, because he did die in Endgame, and everybody was shocked when that happened. That was interesting. As far as the episode itself, it really didn't do much for me. It didn't get me hyped for the next one. I will watch it, and we'll continue to watch it. I feel like it's cool. I feel like it's going somewhere. I definitely like this mid-70s aesthetic of the Time Variance Authority. I like the little cartoon they had that explained their mission about how they're stopping, the timeline from breaking apart because it led to this war of the multiverses before. So that's interesting. And maybe this will feed into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Maybe that's really what that's about. This is setting up the next war of the multiverses in that movie. That's interesting to think about. But we don't really know. I hope we meet these, time gods or whatever. They kind of brought Uatu in, the Watcher, in the Guardians movies. We saw a couple of them, but we didn't meet the one. If they brought in like the Living Tribunal or not Destiny, this is the guy where the universe lives in him. All these weird cosmic things from Jim Starlin, I think, are really interesting, and it would be wild to see that kind of stuff on screen. So if they bring in the Living Tribunal, that would be really cool. But I don't think these timekeepers or whatever are that same character. I don't know that they're going to conflate them together. Conflagrate? What's that word? I don't know if they're going to mash them together or anything like that. Again, for me, there's not a whole lot to go on with this Time Variance Authority because there hasn't really been anything in the last 25 years of consequence that everybody has read and, can refer to. So, I don't know. I liked it. I had fun, but it wasn't so like, ooh, I can't wait for the next one. Didn't have a slam bang action scene or anything to grab onto the way that like Falcon and Winter Soldier did. WandaVision hooked me with all the cool retro stuff and the stylings and the humor in the first 2 episodes because they launched with 2. Falcon and Winter Soldier had that 2 action scenes in its first episode to hook you. This one, it feels like it's going to be a lot more character based, so we'll see. But it definitely feels like it can get wild and wacky. The whole thing with twisting the time with the, putting people, resetting them, putting them back in their place, and when they try to run away, that was cool. That was interesting. And I really do like the idea of like he finds this, goes back to get that Tesseract from the clerk, and opens his drawer, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we've got tons of those. They're paperweights around here," and it just sets him automatically like, oh. Like, if these things are paperweights, then they're truly useless. They're not as powerful as I thought. And if he's a character really going after power and realizes that he's in the place where the universe has the most power, and he is as helpless as he is, it kind of resets his character back a little bit in terms of what his goals are, what his quest is. Because it's no longer about dominating the world or the universe if there is something more powerful that can affect him as this Asgardian god. So I think that was my favorite moment. Definitely had some heartfelt moments too with him watching his mother die, which he didn't really know happens. He's watching his future and stuff like that. I thought that was interesting and good acting by Tom Hiddleston. But, I really like the Enforcer girl that they had. She was Ruby in... Lovecraft Country, which if you haven't seen Lovecraft Country, you deserve to go watch that. That's a great show. I think it's the same actress. Ruby, the girl who plays Ruby, is the girl that's chasing Loki in this. Gugu Mbathu-Raw is here in a little bit. She was the kind of the judge in that chamber or whatever. So hopefully, she's a big name actress, I guess, or somebody enough that they were advertising. So hopefully she gets a bigger scene, a bigger role later on down the line. But again, we will see. Not much to go on. It's only the first episode. So let me know down below if you guys liked Loki. And if you can find that Time Variance Authority story of consequence within the last 25 years, let me know. Because I don't know where they're pulling this stuff from. But I challenge you to go find it. Time Variance Authority nerds. Let me know down below in the comments. And we will see you guys next time in the Funny Pages.